Ephesians 5:23. For the husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is the head of the church. The Greek word for head is kephale. In standard Hellenistic Greek, this word carried two distinct metaphorical meanings. The first meaning, authority, leader, ruler. This is the reading most English Bibles assume. The second meaning, source, origin, as in the head of a river where the water originates. Both meanings are in the standard Greek lexicons. Both are attested in Hellenistic Greek. The Greek genuinely permits either. The choice changes how Paul's argument in Ephesians 5 functions. Most pastors only teach one of the two readings. The discipline of this video is the lexical question, what the Greek word actually means. The application question about gender roles rests on multiple arguments beyond this one word and is explicitly out of scope. To start, you have to look at the standard reference lexicon, Little Scott Jones, and see exactly what it says. The standard Greek lexicon beyond NT Greek is Little Scott Jones, LSJ. It catalogs Greek from Homer through the patristic period. The entry for kephale has multiple senses: the physical head, the top of something, head of a river, head of a column, source or origin as one metaphorical extension, leader, chief, ruler as a different metaphorical extension. Paul uses kephale metaphorically across multiple letters. 1 Corinthians 11:3, the famous Christ, man, woman, God sequence, Ephesians 8:22, Christ as kephale over all things for the church, Ephesians 4:15, Christ as kephale of the body, Ephesians 5:23, husband as kephale of wife, Colossians 1:18, Christ as kephale of the body, the church, Colossians 2:10, Christ as kephale of all rule and authority. Colossians 2:19, the kephale from which the body grows. The two scholarly camps. Wayne Grudem, Council on Biblical Manhood and Womanhood, has argued since 1985 that kephale in Pauline usage means authority over. Catherine Kroger, classical Greek scholar, Christians for Biblical Equality, argued in parallel that kephale means source. Both are credentialed Greek scholars. Both rest on lexical and contextual evidence. In a minute, I'm going to show you the single piece of historical linguistic evidence that most strongly distinguishes the two camps, the Septuagint translation pattern. What the LXX translators chose tells us how Greek speakers of the Hellenistic period actually used these words. The Septuagint, LXX, is the Greek translation of the Hebrew Bible from the 3rd century BC, Alexandria. The Bible most Greek-speaking Jews of the New Testament period used. Paul quotes from it constantly. Its choices show how Hellenistic Greek speakers rendered Hebrew concepts. The Hebrew word for head is rosh. Like English head, it has both literal and metaphorical meanings. Literal, the physical head. Metaphorical, leader, ruler, chief. The Hebrew Bible uses rosh metaphorically, meaning leader, roughly 180 times. Here is the historical evidence. Out of those approximately 180 times when the Hebrew Bible used rosh to mean leader, the LXX translators chose archon. Archon is the standard Greek word for ruler, about 165 times. They chose kephale only about 12 to 17 times. Not zero, but a small minority. A little later, I'll show you what this means for Ephesians 5:23, but first what this evidence rules out. If kephale in Hellenistic Greek primarily meant leader, as Hebrew rosh meant metaphorically, the LXX translators should have chosen kephale often. They didn't. They chose archon. The pattern strongly suggests in the Greek Paul actually spoke and wrote, kephale did not naturally carry authority over as its primary metaphorical meaning. The default Greek word for leader was archon. Paul knew this word. He uses it in Romans 13:3. Are you not afraid of him who is in authority? That's archontes. When Paul wanted to say ruler, he had the word. He had both words, but he chose kephale in marriage and church contexts. Colossians 2:19, the kephale from which the body grows. The Pauline verse that most directly supports the source reading is Colossians 2:19, holding fast to the kephale from whom the whole body, supported and held together by its joints and ligaments, grows with a growth that is from God. From whom the whole body grows. The kephale is described as the source of organic growth, that from which the body grows. This is not an authority claim, it is a source claim. On the source reading, Colossians 2:19 makes natural sense. Christ as kephale is the origin from whom the body's life flows. On the authority reading, from whom the body grows has to be stretched. Now, Ephesians 5:23 on the source reading, the husband is the source of the wife, as Christ is the source of the church. On this reading, Paul is recalling Genesis 2:22, where the woman is built from the man's side. The verse becomes a creation narrative echo rather than a hierarchical assertion. Christ as the source of the church derives its life from Christ, aligns with Pauline incorporation language elsewhere. On the authority reading, the husband is the head, the authority of the wife. The verse becomes a hierarchical statement. Both readings remain defensible. The Greek genuinely permits both. The lexical question is genuinely contested at the scholarly level. The LXX evidence leans toward the source meaning being more native to Hellenistic Greek. The Pauline usage of Colossians 2:19 leans towards source. The Pauline usage in 1 Corinthians 11:3 is debated and read differently by both camps. Here is what this video does not settle, and explicitly will not settle: the application question. Whether husbands have a unique authority in marriage, whether men have a unique role in church leadership. These questions rest on multiple texts: 1 Timothy 2:12, Genesis 2 and 3, creation order, patristic witness, additional Pauline texts. The kephale question is one piece of evidence in a larger conversation, not the conversation itself. Both complementarian and egalitarian Christian traditions have careful scholars who reach different conclusions. Wayne Grudem, John Piper, The Council on Biblical Manhood and Womanhood on one side, Catherine Kroger, Gordon Fee, Christians for Biblical Equality on the other. Both have read the Greek carefully. The kephale question is one thread in their broader arguments, not the conclusion. What the lexical evidence does establish, the Greek genuinely permits two readings. The LXX evidence leans against kephale meaning authority primarily in Hellenistic Greek, and English Bible readers who have only encountered the head equals authority reading have been walked past a serious scholarly conversation. If Ephesians 5:23's grammar reopened a contentious doctrinal conversation, the next video closes the week with a verse where the Greek grammar is not contested at all, but where almost 200 years of missions theology has been built on a reading the Greek does not actually support. 4 Greek verbs, 1 imperative, 3 participles, and the difference reshapes what Jesus actually commanded at the end of Matthew's Gospel.